Hey everybody, Kevin Thompson here. Welcome to day 12 of the 31-day Bible Challenge. Listen to James chapter 5 and verse number 7. Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You know, farming, as much as any profession, is ruled by the calendar. Each season requires something different. You plant in the spring and grow in the summer, harvest in the fall, rest in the winter. Now, as a farmer, you must learn to embrace every season. You can prefer one over the other, but you can't choose to operate in two seasons and then ignore the other two. Harvesting must be gratifying. It's nice to have some money in the bank and not be worried about your crop. Harvesting is a lot of hard work, but it's also the payoff. But you can't harvest anything if you fail to grow your crop in the summer. And you can't rest in the winter if you don't have a nice harvest in the fall. Every season is important. Consider that pattern. Plant, grow, harvest, rest in every area of life. In part, it's a beautiful overarching picture of life itself. From birth through childhood, we are being planted. From our teenage years into young adulthood, we are growing. During adulthood, we are harvesting. And in the last years of our lives, we get to rest. Great trouble comes if we ignore one of those seasons or live as though we are in a different season. If I started acting like I was retired when I was in my early 40s, life wouldn't go very well. If you don't embrace your years of being planted, you might struggle to grow as you get older. Patience means accepting the season of life you are in and living that season well. And that pattern of plant, grow, harvest, rest repeats in your profession, marriage, parenting, and every other area of life. I can see the pattern in the life of our church. There are seasons of great harvest where it is evident that God is moving in a meaningful way within the lives of others. But there are other times when we are just planting seeds, waiting to see what might come from them. I can see the pattern in writing. A book comes out and I don't write much for a while, but eventually I start typing out some ideas and just seeing which ones land and begin to grow. And then I begin to develop those ideas, and before long, a book is born. We can see the pattern in marriage. There are seasons of great harvest in marriage in which we are reaping the rewards of good choices and wise practices. There are other times when a season can feel like a lot of work, but we are growing habits or behaviors that will pay off later. We should look to the farmer and be reminded about the seasons in our lives. How would an impatient farmer fail? Trying to plant seeds when he is supposed to be resting? Trying to harvest crops when they are not ready yet? Our impatience often expresses itself as we attempt to ignore the season we're in. What season are you in? And how can you make sure that you embrace it today and thrive in the midst of it? Listen to what James has to say. You too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. You and I can have patience today, trusting the timing of God because of His goodness expressed to us and His sovereign control over our lives.